In this chapter, we're going to start looking at simulations, which is a way for us to take a situation or a scenario and simulate it so that we don't have to actually do it in real life because sometimes it's just not feasible. Before we're able to do that, we need to look at what a random number is or what randomness is so that we know how we can use those numbers to help us in our simulations. So, what does it mean to be random? Some examples of random events are rolling a die, flipping a coin, drawing a card from a deck. And what it means to be random is that I know all of the outcomes that are going to occur. So if I roll a die, a standard die, I know that I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Those are going to be my outcomes. I don't know which one's going to happen until I actually roll, but I know that those are the outcomes that I'm going to get. Flipping a coin, again, I know I'm going to get heads or tails. I'm not going to list all of the outcomes for drawing a card, but hopefully you've played cards enough to know that there are 52 outcomes and what those outcomes could be. We do have a few problems when it comes to randomness, however, and that is if I were to say ask you to pick a number from 1 to 4, it is likely that you would pick a 3. Most people pick a 3, the majority. If you flip a coin, does it always come up 50-50? Not necessarily, and there's if you Google this, there are just a bunch of different theories in terms of how often heads will come up, or if it's whichever side is facing up, etc. So there's a lot of different theories, but it's possible that it's not completely random based on the weighting of the coin. You can also go online and use some sort of online random number generator to find random numbers for you. But in this class, we are going to use a random number table, and here's what it looks like. And there are some in the back of your textbook, but for any question that you'll get from me or through StatCrunch, your random numbers will be provided for you, so you will not have to provide them yourself. But in order to use a random number table, just keep in mind if I were using 1-digit numbers, then my outcomes would be 4, 7, 3, 5, 2, 4, 2, etc., etc., etc. If I were using 2-digit numbers, it would be 47, 35, and then careful with this one because it would use the 2 from the first set of 5 and the 4 from the second, and then 28, etc., etc., etc. And so we would just keep on continuing basically through this random number table until we reach the number of outcomes that we needed. So in our next video, we're going to talk about how we actually use these in simulations.